Namaste. Welcome to my 60-minute meridian yoga practice for cultivating self-love. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm a shiatsu practitioner and a massage therapist as well as yoga teacher. And I love to incorporate my knowledge of Chinese medicine and shiatsu along with yoga. So we're going to be working with the heart meridian specifically, and its yang pair, the small intestine, in today's practice, because this is the time of year where we're ruled by the fire element. It's the heat of the summer, a time when we're feeling maybe a little bit hot, depending on where you are in the world, but where we're feeling that incredible surge of yang energy that we get at this time of year. Perhaps some of us are feeling very lethargic as well, so there can be an imbalance in the fire element at this time. Many of us are feeling a little bit stuck, lost, or anxious as a result of what's going on in the world with the pandemic. We are not able to express ourselves and move in this joyful, compassionate way that we might like to during these summer months. So finding a little bit more compassion for ourselves so that we can move forward with integrity, and we'll start by lying down. So you don't need much for this practice today, but it might be useful to have a pillow or a bolster if you have one, and maybe a brick or a block if you have one, or maybe just some books. We're going to start by lying down, opening up the space around the front of the chest. So take your pillow, I'm going to fold mine in half so it's a bit higher, and then you can place the pillow underneath the lower ribs. So not around the waist, but just around the thoracic spine, so that you can start to open up this space around your heart. And then take the arms out wide, so you can have them wherever you like, but opening up the space around the chest, and as well opening up the space around the inside of the arms. You can just allow the legs to be long, or you can take the soles of the feet together, dropping the knees out wide. Taking a moment here to just settle. Taking a moment here to notice how you're feeling at the beginning of your practice. Starting with the physical body. You could run the mind down from the head to the toes, just checking in with compassion how each part of your body is feeling. No judgment, no clinging on, no attachment, just checking in, asking the question, receiving the response. Maybe there's areas of the body that call your attention, but perhaps there are also quieter areas, maybe areas of the body that you can't take the mind to. And then letting go of the physical awareness of the body and moving to the more subtle realm of the emotional body. So checking in with the space around the heart. How are you emotionally right now at the beginning of your practice? Noticing what comes up for you, where you feel the emotion in the body, what it feels like, what's the sensation of the emotion in the physical body. And then letting go of that, breathing it out, sighing the breath out of the mouth. Allowing the mind for a moment to be still, focusing on the breath, focusing on the opening sensation around the heart, around the chest. 3 more breaths here. If your knees are wide, gently draw them towards one another, so bringing the inner legs in. And then roll over onto your side so that you can release whatever you have underneath your chest. Just move it over to the side and then come onto your hands and knees. So just taking a moment to ease out any tension from the spine, especially after that gentle back bend, coming into a cat-cow. So pressing the tips of the little fingers down into the mat. This is where the heart channel ends, and I'll show you the pathway of the meridian in a moment. But just pressing the tip of the little finger down perhaps a bit more than the other fingers to start to activate and open up the channel that runs all the way into the chest and the heart space. So as you breathe in, open up the chest, drop the belly down, create some space between the collarbones, look up. And as you breathe out, tuck your tail in between your legs, round the back, look towards your navel, or perhaps look towards the heart space. Breathing in, you drop the belly, you open up the heart, rolling the shoulders back. Breathing out, you round the back, look towards the heart. Moving with the flow of your own breath in this way, simple cat-cow, easing out the spine. So it's said that when we're in the womb, when we begin our lives as a fetus, the face looks down towards the heart and is actually attached to the heart space. As we grow as a fetus, we uncurl and the face lifts. But as we start our life in that watery womb space, our face is literally looking at the center of the heart. Finding that connection again with your heart space, looking towards it as you breathe out. Making space for it to open up as you breathe in. Last 3 rounds of your cat-cow. Allow the breath to be deep, allow the focus to be soft but present in the space on your mat. Coming back to center, press your left palm down to the ground, and then inhale to lift your right hand up to the sky, stretching your heart open as you gaze up. Exhale, scooping the right hand underneath the left, coming to rest on the right side of your cheek. And then press into the left hand, inhale, lift the right hand back up, coming into a gentle twist. Exhale, scoop the right hand under. Last time, inhale to lift up, look up, open up the space around the heart, stretch the pinky finger high. And as you exhale, scooping the right hand, rest on the side of your face and just take a moment here. You could extend your left arm all the way up and behind your back. You could see what it's like to shuffle that right arm through a bit deeper so that you can make some more space between your shoulder blade and your spine. And then just rest. Taking a moment to ease into the stretch just by sinking deeply, relaxing the muscles, relaxing the face, closing the eyes, and breathing. So in Chinese medicine, the heart is said to be the emperor. The emperor's function in the body is surprisingly not as much as lots of other organs. So the spleen, liver, kidneys have many more functions in Chinese medicine than the heart. The heart's role as the emperor is the connection between heaven and earth. So the spiritual connection with the rest of the body. The heart is supported by all of the other organs in the body, and in particular by the small intestine. The small intestine acts like the taste tester, only sending on the most vital information to the heart, to the emperor. In this stretch, we're opening up the small intestine meridian. It runs all the way around the shoulder blades. Take one last breath. And then bringing the left palm back down to the mat. Inhale, lift the right hand all the way back up to the sky. Exhale. exhale, take that hand down. Coming over to the other side, inhale, lift the left hand high. Exhale, scoop it underneath the right. Rest on the left side of the cheek just for a moment. Press into the right hand, inhale, lift the left hand up. Open up the heart space as you look up and exhale to come all the way back through. Last one, inhale to lift. Exhale to scoop. Resting on the left side of your face, maybe wriggling that left arm through a little way so that you make some space here between the shoulder, the scapular ridge, and the spine. Then just allowing yourself to rest in position and breathe. We can help to increase the stretch in the body by simply relaxing. Quite often we yank, pull, push on muscles that feel tense or sore. But the best way to open up space and release tension is to come into the stretch and then simply breathe and release. In this stretch, you're opening up the space around the small intestine. Remember the taste tester for the emperor or the heart. The small intestine meridian can get very stuck or stagnant when there's lots of overwork. So think about rifling through all of that information that it's going to send to the heart. So if you're doing a lot of computer work and you're hunched forward over your desk, looking at the screen, looking at lots of information, writing loads of lists, that can start to contract the small intestine, the energetic quality of this organ. Remember, we're talking from a 5-element Chinese medicine perspective. We're going to open up the space around the chest so that we can breathe. We're going to open up the space around the heart center so the heart can sit in space. Last breath. Bringing the right hand down if you had it behind the back. Press into the palm, inhale, lift the left hand high. Exhale, take both hands down to the mat. And then coming into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, lift the knees, take the hips up to the sky and stretch all the way through the back line of your body. Make space around the armpits. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and breathe. Looking forward, step the feet up just behind the hands, coming into a deep Uttanasana, forward fold. Let the head be heavy, shake it, yes, no. Last breath. Pressing into the feet, rise all the way up, hands up to the sky, look up, lift the chest. Exhale the hands in front of the heart center and settle here. Connecting with your heart space, feeling the beat of your heart beneath your thumbs. Relax the shoulders. What does that heart space feel like? Can you feel the beat of the heart? Can you feel the warmth of the heart? Does it feel closed off, or does it feel open and joyful? Starting to invigorate the heart space, bring the tips of your fingers onto the chest and start tapping. So this Do-in Japanese tapping method that we use to activate the meridians. So starting all the way around the heart space in the center of the chest. And then taking the fingers over, so in this kind of big heart shape, over the top of the chest. Then finding a light fist with one of your hands, start to gently tap right into the armpit where the heart meridian begins. Heart 1, this is the first acupressure or acupuncture point on the heart channel. Then start tapping down towards the little finger, so into the inside of the arm, right at the bottom of the inside of the arm, in the direction towards the tip of the little finger. This is the heart channel. Heart 9, the last point on the heart meridian, right at the tip of the finger. Then coming up the other side, so to the outside of the arm, on top of the shoulder, and over to the other side. So tapping over the chest, into the depths of the armpit. And then the direction of your tapping is down towards the little finger. So the inside lower edge of the arm. This is the heart meridian. The tip of the little finger is where the last acupressure point for the heart meridian ends. And then coming up the other side through the top of the shoulder. Give your heart space a little bit more of a tap. Maybe you can go a bit more firmly, activating the chi, the prana, the energy of the heart. And then give yourself a little bit of a wipe down, releasing any stagnant chi, brushing it off. Give your hands a little bit of a shake, and then come to the front of your mat. Feet hip distance apart, all big toes together as you wish. Find length through your spine and open up your heart space by rolling your palms forwards. Let your shoulders drop back into their pockets. Maybe taking a moment to breathe and connect with yourself with the eyes closed, pressing your feet into the mat. Is it difficult for you to open up your chest? Do you feel that you're hunched forwards a lot of the time? Take a big breath in and open up your chest a little bit more. As you exhale, sink into the support of the earth beneath your feet. Gently opening the eyes, breathe in, take the hands up to the sky. Looking up, extend the heart up. And then exhale into your forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need. As you inhale, lift halfway up. As you exhale, press the hands down and step back into a plank. Staying here for just a moment, rocking yourself back and forth, stretching through the calves. Taking another breath, press the tips of your little fingers into the mat. And as you exhale, drop down through knees, chest, chin, elbows come back. Untuck the toes, tops of the feet to the mat. Inhale, lift your heart center high. The shoulders roll back, the chin slightly lifts. Make sure you can breathe. If you can't, maybe come a little bit lower. You don't have to come super high in your cobra. Take another breath. Exhale into downward facing dog. Breathing here, sinking through the heels, lifting the hips up to the sky. Opening up the space around the heart meridian. So remember, it runs from the armpit down to the tip of the little finger. You can press the tips of the little finger into the mat to start to activate that energetic channel. One more breath. As you breathe in the next time, lift your right foot high. As you exhale, squeeze the right thigh in towards the belly and step the foot up in between the hands. Keeping the back heel lifted, press into the feet, rise up into a high lunge with control. You can help with the control of the balance here by pressing the back heel towards the earth. Strong back leg, 90-degree angle in your front knee, and then relax the shoulders, lift the heart up and breathe. As you exhale, take the hands down to the mat. As you inhale, step back into your plank once again. Exhale down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, this half press up. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come over to the left side, so lift the left heel high. As you exhale, step the left foot up in between the hands. Finding your balance, finding control. Inhale, lift into your high lunge. When you get there, drop down a bit. So press into the back heel, so that the back heel is dropping towards the ground. It won't touch it. See if you can sink into the support of the earth a little bit deeper, so that you can start to breathe in and lift up through the heart center with that balance and control. As you exhale, take the hands down. We're going to inhale to step the right foot forwards, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands into prayer position in front of the heart center and settle. We're going to start to build a bit of heat in the body. Remember, this time of year is ruled by the fire element. The fire element brings heat, brings transformation in the body. Taking a moment longer to settle, allow your shoulders to drop, connecting with the heart space, the yin quality in the yang practice. Gently opening the eyes. If they're closed, inhale, take the hands up. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, rising halfway. Exhale, stepping or jumping if you want to build some more heat into your plank or chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, up dog or cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha or down facing dog. Inhale, lift the right foot high, three-legged dog. Exhale, squeeze the thigh into the belly so that you've got the space to step it through. Press into the feet as you inhale, rise up with balance, with control. Find your drishti, your point of focus, and then sink deeply into this lunge. Breathe in, lift the heart center as high as it will go, maybe a gentle back bend. Breathe out again, find the stability of the earth. Last breath in. As you exhale, come into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So the left toes face towards the long edge of the mat. You have a 90-degree angle in the front knee. Both arms are parallel to the mat, and the gaze is towards the tip of the middle right finger. Breathe in the strength of your warrior. Open up the heart space, taking the arms perhaps a little further back. Last breath. Drop the left hand down, turn the right palm up, reverse your warrior, breathing in, lift yourself up and back. Keep sinking deeply into that right knee. Notice that the legs probably started to straighten. As you breathe in, lift the heart a bit higher, as if it wants to look up towards the sky. Stretch your little finger all the way back. Last breath. Exhale, cartwheel hands either side of the front foot. Inhale, step back to your flow. Plank. Down through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale to down. Inhale, lift the left foot high, three-legged dog. Press into your pinky fingers. Exhale, step the left foot through. Find your balance, your focus before inhaling up to your high lunge. When you get there, exhale to settle yourself into the support of the ground that supports you. Relax the shoulders, but lift the heart. Find space in the front of the chest. Last breath. Exhale to Warrior 2. The right toes face towards the right long edge of your mat. 90-degree angle in the front knee. Arms parallel to the earth, but relax the shoulders. Maybe stretching the arms back a little way so that you can make space in the heart to breathe. Drop your right hand down, turn the left palm up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. You're not dropping all your weight down into this right side. You're lifting and lengthening through the spine, and then you're arching a little bit deeper. Keep dropping down through that left knee, making sure that you still have the 90-degree angle like a corner of a square. One more big breath. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands either side of the front foot. We're inhaling to step forwards, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands all the way up, bring them into prayer. Exhale, settle, hands in front of the heart. Feel the beat of the heart beneath your thumbs. Maybe closing the eyes, relaxing the shoulders, finding your grounding through the feet. Open the eyes, inhale, take the hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping or jumping back through your vinyasa, coming down as you wish. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha or Cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down facing dog. Press into your pinky fingers. Inhale, lift the right foot high. Exhale, step it up between the hands. Same flow. Press into your feet. Come up with control with a big breath in. Lift the heart. As you exhale, sink a bit deeper. As you inhale, lift the heart higher. Stretch the pinky fingers up. As you exhale, come straight to your Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Settle here. Find space through the length of the spine. Drop a little bit deeper into the legs. Dropping the back hand down, turn the right palm up. Inhale, sweep yourself all the way up and back into your reverse warrior. There's no need to put lots of pressure on your back knee. Use the strength of your oblique muscles to keep you lifted. Remember lifting through the spine rather than dumping the weight down into the left side of your waist. One more breath. Make it deep. Lift your heart a little bit higher. As you exhale, we're waving ourselves into Parsvakonasana. So the right elbow comes onto the front knee. The left arm stretches all the way up and over towards the front of the room. Don't take your shoulder with you. See if you can relax it back. The full expression of this pose is taking the right hand down to the ground. If you have a block, you could use that if your legs aren't quite as short as mine, making it a bit harder to come so deep. You can also hover the elbow as we started. Extend your left pinky finger all the way towards the front of the room. You can look towards that finger. Remember that heart meridian runs down to the armpit. See if you can create space all the way along the channel. And breathe. Last breath. As you exhale, take the hands either side of the front foot. Turn onto the toes of the back foot. Inhale, step back through plank. Exhale, down. Inhale, open up the heart center as you stretch yourself into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming to the other side, inhale, lift the left foot high. Exhale, step the foot up between the hands. Finding your balance, inhale, lift up into your lunge. As you get there, exhale to sink everything down a bit. Inhale, find space through the heart, lifting it high. Exhale to hold. Last breath in here, lifting your chest a little bit higher, and as you exhale, Warrior 2. Sinking deep, finding space, finding focus and strength in the power of your warrior. Last breath. Drop your back hand down, turn the left palm up. Inhale, reverse your warrior, but don't straighten that front leg if you can. Keep bending deeply into the start of the warrior so that you find strength and power through the lower part of the body, and a sense of lifting and spaciousness through the upper part of the body. Last breath. Make it deep. Exhale, Parsvakonasana. The left elbow comes onto the front knee. The right hand stretches up and overhead. If you want, take that left hand down to the ground. Keep pressing through your back foot to find length all the way through the side of the body. Look towards that right little finger and breathe. As you exhale, turn onto your toes, take the right hand down. We're stepping forwards, remember, as we breathe in. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, settle, hands in front of the heart. Take a moment to take stock of how your body's feeling. If it's anywhere as hot as Portugal where you are, then hopefully you should be feeling a little bit warmer by now. Relax your shoulders, open the heart space. Feel the heat of the heart against your thumbs. Last flow. Inhale, take the hands up high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping or jumping back through your flow. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, make space for the heart. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift the right foot high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through. Find your stability. Moving a little bit quicker through the transitions. Inhale, take the hands high, lift the heart. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, pass for Konasana, side pull pose. Stretching the left hand overhead. Take another breath. Relax the shoulder away from the ear. Look towards that pinky finger. One more breath. As you exhale, take both hands down either side of the front foot. Rotate onto the toes of the back foot. We're going to lunge ourselves forward into a warrior three. So take the hands a bit further forward. Press into your right foot. Inhale, lift your left foot off the ground. You can have as much of a bend in this right knee as you like. Find your focus, find your balance. Rotate your left hip down a little way. Use your belly muscles. We're going to start to lift the hands off the mat, bringing them into prayer in front of the heart. Find your balance, your focus as you start to lift your heart up and take your left foot as high as it will go. Roll the shoulders back, make space for the heart. Take 3 breaths. Last breath, lift the foot a little bit higher. And then exhale, take the hands down with control. Well done. Step the left foot back. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, down. Inhale, lifting up through the heart. Make space between the collarbones. Exhale, down dog. Last side. Inhale, lift the left foot high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, lifting up into a lunge, moving quicker through the transitions. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, pass for Konasana as you wish. Taking a moment to breathe, to settle, to press through the back foot, to look towards the front little finger. And then exhale, take both hands down. Rotate onto the toes of your back foot. Walk your hands a little bit further forward. Press into your left foot. Breathe in, lift your right foot high. Find your balance here by rotating your right hip down, engaging your bandhas, your core muscles. Then bring your hands slowly into prayer. Make sure you're breathing as you balance. Embrace the shape. Lift your chest up. Lift your right foot up. Roll the shoulders back. We're going to come to rest in a moment. This is your last yang bit of energy. Bringing it back to the yin in one moment, just taking 2 more breaths. Well done. Exhale. Take the hands down. Step the right foot back. Inhale to your final plank. Exhale down as you wish. Inhale, open up the heart center, maybe a deeper back bend. Exhale to child's pose to rest. Sinking the heels and hips together, drop the forehead down to the ground. The arms extend out in front of you. The pinky fingers can press into the mat. Make space between the armpits and the little fingers where that heart meridian channel flows. Taking a moment to contain the heat of your practice. Taking a moment to calm the mind. From here, we're going to slide forward into mountain heart pose. So lift your head and walk your forearms forwards. Keep your bum lifting up high, and then stretch your arms out in front of you a little bit further. Then drop the forehead down. So it's kind of like a child's pose, but your bum is lifted. You should start to feel quite a nice stretch in the armpits. You can work with opening up the heart meridian a bit more by taking the palms together, walking the elbows in, And lifting the hands up above the head with the elbows pressing down to the mat. So from there you can really get a good sense of how the heart meridian flows in the body. Remember, it originates from the heart, goes through the armpits all the way to the tip of the little finger. If this feels uncomfortable for you to sustain, just take the hands back down to the mat. We are going to be here for a couple of minutes. So working with the more yin quality of our yoga practice. All you have to do is settle and breathe here. The quality of the heart when it is in balance is meditation and reflection. Giving yourself this opportunity to reflect, to meditate by focusing on the breath, observing the sensations in the body, the heat, the tingling, the movement, without grabbing onto it and letting the mind whirl off into the past or future. Staying present, and I'll leave you in silence for the last minute of this shape so that you can experience that quality of the heart when it is at rest. Last 5 breaths. Make them deep. Notice where the mind wandered to if it has left your physical experience. When you finish your 5 breaths, walk yourself back into a child's pose. And this time take the arms by the side of the body, the palms facing up, so that you can just release the front of the chest. Opening up the space around the small intestine in the back of the shoulders. When the heart is out of balance, when the fire element is out of balance, we may feel anxious, we may feel kind of hyper and then very lethargic. There can be excess joy, so the emotion of the fire element is joy. But when it's out of balance, it can become excessive and turn into hysteria. That real heat, that real rising heat, rising yang energy in the body. So taking time to rest and restore in meditation is a great way to help to balance this fire element. From where you are, just taking the hands forward for a moment so that you can pad yourself up onto your knees into Virasana. We won't be here for too long if this is a quite challenging pose for you, don't worry. Take your hands by the side of the sitting bones, maybe just your fingertips, maybe your palms, and start to open up the chest. So again, this isn't dumping the weight into the lower back nor the shoulders. It's all about the breath opening up space around the chest. You don't really want to drop the head all the way back. Make space for the throat. The tongue is said to be rooted by the heart. So you can just let the tongue be nice and loose. You can even stick the tongue out for a moment and see what the colour of it is. If the tip of the tongue is very red, then there is heat in the heart. Excessive heat can lead to these conditions that result as a result of the excess heat or the imbalance of the heart organ. So hysteria, hot conditions, rising tension, anxiety, palpitations, lack of sleep. So restoring the balance by opening up space along the meridian pathway of the heart channel. Last breath. Walking your hands back to sit up tall. Release the legs and bring the soles of the feet into together. So coming into your butterfly. So if this is a very challenging pose for you, if it feels quite intense on the hips or the knees, you could support the knees by taking some books or props underneath. Maybe taking the hands onto the feet. Maybe taking the hands into prayer in front of the heart center, your choice. Then allow yourself to drop into your butterfly, coming into a forward fold. So it might be nice to start with your hands in prayer, and then maybe later taking the hands down to the ground. Again, we're going to hold this pose for a couple of minutes, so finding a shape that's sustainable for you, something that doesn't feel painful. There's no pain in yoga. It might feel like a very deep stretch, but it shouldn't be painful at all, especially on the joints. So in my practice of shiatsu, we have extended meridians, we get more meridians. So the heart meridian runs down into the depths of the inner leg, all the way down into the heel. So you can gently press the heels together to activate the heart channel in the legs. You can connect with the physical heart space by pressing the thumbs into the heart center. So if this energy stuff with chi feels a bit intangible, a bit strange, don't worry about it. Don't let it contract you. We're still creating space in the body and receiving the benefits of the physical practice. Taking the last minute here in silence, so maybe taking the hands down if you wish. Connecting right with the core of your being, the emperor that lies within the center of your chest. Maybe seeing if you could observe the beat of the heart without having to touch that space. Last breath here. Observing how deep you've come into your stretch. And then gently walking your hands back up. Taking hold of the knees and drawing them in towards one another. Sole to the feet to the earth. Just taking a moment to drop your forehead down onto the knees. Is this a position that you adopt a lot of the time, that punching forwards, that drawing within? There's nothing wrong with drawing within, but just noticing how the body tends to position itself. What is your posture like? How do you hold yourself? Do you have your heart beaming forward, the chest open? Or do you tend to curl yourself inwards, drawing away from the world? Lifting yourself tall. Take something underneath your sitting bone so that you can sit. We're going to come into a metta meditation. So I always like to take something underneath my sitting bones. It really helps with meditation if your hips are above your knees to help you sit for a longer period. But we won't be there for too long. So just finding a comfortable seat. You could kneel, you could have the legs crossed. I also like to take a block or a brick for my hands to rest on. My shoulders get really sore when I meditate. So I like to have that support in the hands so that I can let the shoulders roll down and back. So that might be helpful to you. Wherever you have the hands, it could be on the legs, it could be to the sides. Turn the palms to face up in this expression of receiving. sitting straight through your spine. Let your sitting bones sink. Close the eyes. Taking a moment to observe how long, how tall the spine can be without too much effort. Breathing into the spaces between the spine. So in metta meditation, we practice cultivating loving kindness for ourselves, for others. If you are a loving, kind, compassionate person, perhaps you give out a lot without putting enough in. There's always more room for more love for ourselves, and that's what we'll focus on today in our metta practice. Once we've cultivated true love for ourselves, we can start to extend it outwards. So with our metta meditation, we find some phrases to work with as we breathe. Repeating a mantra in this way helps to sow the seed of what we are aiming to cultivate. So you can find words that suit you, but let's start together with these 3 mantras. Taking a big breath in. Take a big breath out. May I be well. May I be loved. May I live in peace. With each full round of breath, repeating this mantra, these words to ourselves. May I be well. May I be loved. May I live in peace. We'll practice these rounds of mantras in silence, keeping the body relaxed, the mind focused. Practicing compassion for yourself if you lose the thread of the practice and the mind wanders off. That's what the mind does. So just gently bringing it back. Repeating these 3 phrases or finding words that feel more resonant with you. May I be well. May I be loved. May I live in peace. Again, if you lose thread of the practice, gently bring the mind back into your mantra, into the breath. Make this your final run. When you finish, bringing the hands one on top of the other over the heart center, connecting with your heart space, the core of your being. Feeling the warmth of your palms connecting to the heart. Noticing the sensation, the feeling, the quality of the emotional body as you sit. What comes up for you when we talk about cultivating self-love? Can you experience the warmth of your own love as you sit in stillness and in peace? Gently releasing the hands. When you're ready, opening the eyes. Take your time. Staying here if you need to. The final part of our practice, before we close, I'm going to show you two pressure points of the same pressure point but on both sides of the body. These pressure points are heart 7, and they're great points for calming the Shen, so the spiritual or the spirit of the heart. When the heart or the spirit of the heart is out of balance, again, there can be agitation, anxiety, palpitations, or a sense of grief. So the points are, if you take your hand up from the little finger up towards the wrist crease, so I'll come a little bit closer so that you can see. So the wrist crease here, if you come straight down from the little finger. There's a bit of a dent, a small dip, that you can press your thumb into. And again, this point is on both sides of the body. So finding that point, it might feel a bit tender. You might experience a pulsation, so that could be an energetic one. It could feel like the pulsation of the heart as the blood runs through the veins. So just taking a moment in stillness to find that point, relax the shoulders. You can use gentle pressure here. There's no need to force or compress. Just finding the connection between your thumb and that point. This is a great one to press on a friend or a loved one if they're feeling hysterical or very sad, if there's heartbreak. It really helps to calm the mind, calm the body, restore the balance of the heart space. So finding it on the other side now. Again, it's just along from the little finger right at the wrist crease. There's a bit of a dip. Don't worry, don't contract. If you don't feel that you've found it, there's lots of information available about points on the internet, and you can get in touch with me to find out more. So just finding a point around the wrist where you can feel the pulsation of the heart, the energy of the heart moving all the way down into the tip of the little finger. And you found it, just relaxing the shoulders, maybe closing the eyes. Experiencing the calming sensation on the mind. When you're ready, gently release. Take both hands down to your thighs, palms facing up. Just taking a moment to sit in stillness and silence, observing whatever you observe. Closing our practice by bringing the palms together in front of the heart. Feeling the energy, the chi, the beat of the heart beneath your thumbs. Giving yourself some love from that space for taking the time to practice yoga, to practice self-love, to learn something new perhaps. And then bowing the head, connecting the mind and the heart together. Namaste. Thank you for joining me in my practice for the heart. This is a really relevant practice at the moment, right in the heat of the summer. If you have any questions, then please just let me know. I'm available to chat on Facebook, or you can find me on Instagram at Becca. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, and I hope to see you soon.